Night of my school's fall play. The light pitter-patter of feet can be heard as the cast runs around frantically, trying to take their spots. The director is stage left, and the curtain starts to creak open. Just then, we hear the voice of the newest cast member. Good luck. He was supposed to say break a leg. Each cast member's hearts dropping can be heard in the audience. What has he done? Superstitions. There are thousands of different superstitions in the world, ranging from ensuring a good performance to simple things we do each and every single day. A superstition is a belief or notion not based on reason or knowledge. They can be sayings, old legends, and even witchcraft. Our ancestors used these type of things to explain our unpredictable world, since science is not around yet to explain it. The strength of these can be seen in how they still persist, even into the age of science. Have you ever wondered why we knock on wood? Why it's bad luck to walk under a ladder? Or why we want to find a four-leaf clover? Well, today we are going to find out. First, let's open our umbrella and take a look at what a superstition is. Then we'll spill some salt and take a look at the history of some common superstitions. And finally, we'll pass a black cat to see how superstitions affect our society. So first, let's open our umbrella. Oh, I forgot. We're indoors. And take a look at what a superstition is. Everyone has a certain type of superstition, whether it be as extreme as not leaving your bed on Friday the 13th, or something as small as having a rabbit foot on your keychain. So, what is a superstition? A superstition is a belief that actions happen because of a certain prior event, without either of the two having any physical link to each other. So, for example, breaking a mirror would be the prior event, and the belief is 7 years of bad luck. Breaking a mirror and the luck you experience for the next 7 years have absolutely nothing to do with each other, although a cut finger might. Some people may say that superstitions are evil, and therefore the opposite of religion, but I am here to clear that myth. Superstitions are okay. The reason many people may think superstitions are evil goes back to the 18th century, during the Age of Enlightenment, when reason and science began to define our world. Philosophers ridiculed superstitions because they degenerated intellect. The new thinkers wanted nothing to do with magic, miracles, revelations, or anything that smelled supernatural. It's really hard to find a superstition that doesn't fall into one of those three categories, which would make sense since they were created in a world where reason and science didn't define who we were. Now that we know what a superstition is, let's take a look at the history of some common superstitions. Let's start with my personal favorite, Friday the 13th. If you're afraid of Friday the 13th, there's actually a name for that. Phobia. A mouthful, right? But why Friday, and why the 13th? Well, Friday, because it's the 6th day of the week, according to the Jewish and Christians who had Saturday as the 7th day of the week, and our Muslim neighbors who set aside Saturday rather than Sunday. So 6, Satan's number, Friday. And 13 because of numerology. 12 is considered to be the number of completeness. 12 months in a year, 12 tribes of Israel, Jesus sent his 12 apostles, and even the Old Norseman that says having 13 people seated at a table will result in death. So overall, 13 seems to be the outcast number that everyone's afraid of. To this day, no buildings have a 13th story. While this is mostly an American tradition, statistics say it is a bad day to be out of your safe room. A hospital in Illinois, they admit 52% more people on Friday the 13th than any other day. Weird, right? Let's move on to the next superstition, walking under a ladder. In the old days, this wouldn't have been bad luck, but blasphemy, according to the Christian symbol of the Trinity, an isosceles triangle. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost would each represent a point on the triangle, and walking through that would be breaking the Trinity, and therefore, bad luck. Black cats. There's actually a story that goes with this one. An old man and his son were walking in the woods one day. They saw a black cat, got scared, and jumped behind some trees. They started throwing rocks at the creature, and it scurried into the old lady's house, who was believed to be a witch. The next day, she came out limping. Both of the boys attributed it to the black cat, linking black cats and witches ever since. The list of superstitions goes on and on. For one, saying Macbeth in the theater is often said to bring bad luck. This is because the Scottish play has a lot of witchcraft in it, especially at the beginning, cursing the theater and everyone in it. Why do we not want to open an umbrella indoors? Well, in London in the 18th century, umbrellas were a necessity, but they weren't as convenient as the ones we have today. They often had big, thick rods that would endanger anyone and anything around them. Let's keep going though. For one, why do we say knock on wood? It's because the Druidic gods lived in trees. An itchy palm means good luck with money because money was so scarce that when you had it, it was noticeable. Find a penny, pick it up, all the day you'll have good luck. A penny could have bought you a loaf of bread. Why do we want to find a four-leaf clover? They're actually really hard to find, so finding one is pure luck. Breaking a mirror equaling 7 years of bad luck. Some families were so poor that they would save 7 years for a mirror, so breaking it was a big deal. And finally, spilled salt over the shoulder. This represents throwing it in the devil's eye, some sort of medieval supernatural menace. I could talk about superstitions all day, and tomorrow. Instead, let's move on to the next point, how superstitions affect our society. Believe it or not, superstitions actually have a positive effect on our society. For one, they boost self-confidence and self-esteem when performing a physical or mental task, according to Lysanne Dumich from the University of Cologne. Saying good luck, or break a leg, or crossing your fingers gives you a little bit of faith. And that faith gives you confidence, and that confidence can take you to the next space. Or the one in your Expos round. Second, it's something to believe in. Whether you have a lucky pair of underwear, please wash them regularly, or you'll never break a mirror. There's obviously something you believe in, showing us that not everything has to be based on reason and logic. And finally, they're kind of fun to believe in, as long as you don't go too far. What I'm saying is, if you find a four-leaf clover, believe it's lucky. There's absolutely no harm in having some fun with superstitions. I'm not saying to take that lucky four-leaf clover to the local casino and bet the family paycheck on it. While studying superstitions can be fun and even entertaining like today, we can see that they have a more profound effect on us. Life can get pretty crazy and mysterious, and we can get lost in it facing day-to-day tasks. I don't know how they work, but in some hidden truth, they give us just a little more power to face it. So believe in your superstitions and be proud of them. Today, I hope you learned what a superstition is, the history of some common superstitions, and how superstitions affect our society. Oh, and good luck in your next round. Thank you.